Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today I want to talk about why methods that used to work in SEO a very long time ago no longer work and where search is going now. Okay, so when you mention SEO to a lot of people, their understanding of it is it might be based on something that's from a long time ago. Like if you keyword stuff a page, if you repeat a phrase over and over and over, then you might rank. Or sometimes you'll see this if at the bottom of the page they have hidden text, or maybe they repeat like every city that's within a 50-mile radius down in the footer. They think that that's going to work for SEO. Now, a lot of these things don't work anymore, and they haven't worked for a long time. And the reason being, well, for one, search engines got a lot more sophisticated. They have a lot of engineers that have computer science degrees. They're continually trying to improve these algorithms to where it gives the best score. And the biggest reason why, Google as a search engine right now, I think they have like 87% market share of desktop browsing and maybe mobile browsing too. But they want people to continue to use their search engine and not use any alternative search engines. They don't want people on Bing or Yahoo or DuckDuckGo or any other search engine. They want them to stay there because their main business model is selling AdWords or Google Ads or Google Guaranteed or Google Shopping to people that can't rank naturally. And of course, they have control over how the search engine page is laid out. And oftentimes you'll see a lot of paid ads at the top, especially with competitive searches. You might see like 4 ads at the top. You might see like 3 ads at the bottom. So it's a total of 7 ads. You might need to scroll a long way to get to the natural results. But it's the same as anything else. They want to keep people on the platform. They don't want to make it so obtrusive that people leave, but they want it to be, just good enough to where people stay on this and it's better than Bing, which it is. The results I can say are definitely better than Bing. And for the record, some of these other search engines, they actually use Bing's information in their search engines. They just put their own label on it. Okay, but why these old methods don't work anymore? For one, if you're able to trick a search engine by doing hidden text or stuffing a keyword like a million times or any of these other things, it's not a good result. What most often comes to the top is a bunch of spam and a bunch of bad results. Now, where search is going. Google has invested a lot of time into trying to improve their algorithm to where it turns things that a human being would select. And this is why they pay the quality raters. They have a team of contractors that basically they evaluate these search results and they say, it scores in these different categories. What's the main content, the secondary content, whether you find this site to be reputable or not. They take this feedback and basically the Google engineers, they try and put this into the algorithm, and they're continually doing testing on the algorithm to try and make it choose things that a human being would choose. Now, there's other things that they have rolled into the ranking algorithm in recent years. For example, in 2016, they announced that they had this component that was machine learning, which is called RankBrain. Now, machine learning, some people say this is AI, but for intensive purposes, we'll just say that basically machine learning is you get continually smarter, and the machine teaches itself how to do things instead of having a programmer explicitly tell it what to do. But basically, what it's trying to do is select things that a human being would learn. Now, it's had 4 years to work on this. The algorithm has, the way that the ranking has changed over the last 4 years, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, a lot of things that we're still slipping through the cracks as far as manipulation, a lot more sophisticated than the stuff I was mentioning at the beginning, but things that are a lot more sophisticated than that. A lot of those things do not work as well. Google's idea is if you're typing like words, if you're typing a keyword phrase, you're trying to get to a goal. You either want information, or you want to buy a product, or you want to, find something out, you want to compare prices, you want to book a vacation or a flight or a hotel or something. But you want to do something when you're typing words into a search engine. You want to figure something out, or you want to find something out, or you want to do something. And the search intent of the page is what they try and figure out. Now, if the majority of the people seem to favor one thing or another, then Google knows, aha, if people type in this exact query, then we can, push this. But another thing that they've changed the algorithm in the last 3 years or so is a lot of these queries that are coming up now. And in fact, I think it's like 15% of queries that they see every year is search queries that they've never seen before. So that means one of the things that they've added to the algorithm as well is trying to figure out how to give you a good first page Google for queries that they haven't seen before. So they've added things to try and figure out, language and decode things and understand things a little bit closer to the way that a human does. Now, one of the APIs that they have, we have a video on this, it's called the Natural Language API. And you can see basically a demo of how Google would analyze a page and extract information. Another thing that they added, and this was, I think, in the last year or two, is a thing called BERT. And this basically, the order of words in a query, or the order of words in a page, how does this influence, how does this change the meaning of a query? If you put words in a different order, it might mean something different. Okay, and humans can understand that, but machines have had a hard time in the past. But this is something that Google has sought to improve and understand. So all these things put together, they're extracting different information from the page than they ever have before. Another component that doesn't get talked about, and something that Google doesn't really mention a whole lot, is they do have a way to track the user journey from the time that you're searching in Google until the time that you're going to the page and analyzing how you react to it. Now, they cannot use Google Analytics for this, as half of the websites in the world don't have Google Analytics installed. So a lot of people's suspicion is that they use Chrome and data from Chrome to have real user signals, anonymized of course. But they can basically get some sort of idea if people are satisfied with the page. Now, if there's a common queries for different things, they can take that data and they can take the user data of how people react to a page. And what they can do is they can look for commonalities in those pages. So let's say, for example, that if you're looking for a plumber in Poughkeepsie, New York, or something like that, and they also have data from people searching for a plumber in Houston, Texas, or someone searching for a plumber in Olympia, Washington, and they, just multiply this by all these places all over the place. If there's commonalities in pages where people seem to be satisfied, they could say, hey, this is a pattern that we should look for, and pages that seem to satisfy our users' queries have these characteristics in common. So pages that have these things present, or these things laid out in a certain way, or they mention these certain things, or they have these features, maybe we should rank these a little bit higher. So these are all things that go into the ranking algorithm today. So where search really is going, you really do have to focus on providing the best page possible. Forget the gimmicks, because they're not going to work for much longer. Yes, I still see some pages that have a little bit of gimmick to it, but the best way that you can do this is think about what people are really trying to find when they type in this specific phrase that you're trying to target, keyword target your page for, and then put that information on the page. And the next thing you can do is make it as friction-free as possible. Make sure that your page works excellently on a mobile phone, because so many queries are coming from a mobile phone. It's like 65% of all queries are coming from mobile nowadays. So make sure it works on a phone, tablet, desktop, all the way around, okay? And, make the experience of the site very pleasurable for people. Make sure that they can get what they're looking for easily, friction-free, okay? And the last thing you can do is really promote your brand, because that still has an influence in Google. If you have a certain link profile, or if you're promoting your site on sites that Google would expect to see a business like yours promoting, Google knows that you're trying to generate leads. So say, for example, you're a contractor. We'll just use this example because it's easy. But if you're a home contractor, then you're going to be promoting your business on HomeAdvisor, House, Angie's List, the Better Business Bureau, Yelp, Thumbtack, maybe a couple other places. But Google expects to see those. And if you don't have profiles there, then that might be something that doesn't fit the pattern of what they're looking for, okay? So, and also make sure that you have social media accounts and you're doing a little bit of work there. Google is really just looking to see that you're conducting yourself like a real brand would, like a company that's actually trying to grow would operate, because these are signs of authenticity. So these are things that you should have. Okay, so I hope this gives you some food for thought, but this is where search is going in the 2020s. You can't fake these signals anymore. You really have to give people what they're looking for and make it a good experience for them, and promote your brand, get links, promote yourself in other avenues and build your brand. All these things are going to add up into better SEO. My name is John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. I'm here about every other day making videos on SEO. If you have a question, leave it in the comments below. But one thing I would really love for you to do is subscribe to this channel, because like I said, we're putting out content regularly, and we're almost to 1,000 subscribers, so let's get there. I'd really love to get there, all right? That's all for now. Until next time, peace.